So there you go.
Well, that's all good.
So we should go out, have our coffee outside where it's nice and fresh air with the exhaust from the cars.
Well, yes, Paris Street, for example.
Yes.
It's a very healthy spot.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, well, so JT, listen, going back to the drama.
It was drama.
And playfulness.
Yeah.
You will remember, and I'm saying this for new listeners as well. There was a play called Forever Young at the Northcote not long ago, set in a sort of retirement space for actors from the musical theatre, or actors who had included the musical theatre. They sang a lot of songs as well as knowing a lot of Shakespeare.
Right.
And what was the play about? Well, I mean, it was just about old age, really, and repeating things. And surviving, or trying to survive. Though obviously they won't survive indefinitely. The nurse or caretaker lady, at one point she wanted a much tidier life, and she felt
tidier life.
Yes, she felt if they all moved on, maybe things would be sorted.
So, in order to have a tidier life, do you need a dustpan and brush?
Well, that was more or less what she was saying. Yes, she thought if they were all transformed to ashes and lived in a jar, they'd be easier to cope with. And
yes, you probably would do. And your ashes could come alive when you want to, and then disintegrate after that.
Well, that would be one way of doing it, wouldn't it?
So if you want to go away for holiday and you don't want to be here, you just let it go down.
Yes. Well, that's as long as that's technically possible. That's what we'll do.
Yeah, switch it off, as they say.
As they say.
Yeah.
But JD, I heard about all this, and I heard the songs and the situation, and I went to see it as well with John, and with Chris. We saw a rehearsal. There was a rehearsal at the Barnfield, and then we saw some of it at the. John had to go early, but he's seen most of it at the Northcote.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it could be transferred to slightly older people. Well, people like us.
Slightly older. Are we slightly older?
Well, you're doing you're not only doing an 80s show, JD.
Yeah.
You live the 80s.
I do. I haven't moved at all.
You're not stuck exactly.
No, I'm not stuck. No,
but you're very.
I'm still a top DJ.
You are the DJ.
Yes,
in your own
I know
mind.
what I'm doing.
You know what you're doing. Well, because your shows on Access All Aerials are on repeat, aren't they?
Yeah. Yes.
They're more or less the same shows.
They're the same shows, but you got to wait 6 years in order to hear the first one
for them to come round again. Which is fair enough.
Yes,
they're very good shows.
Yes, they are actually. I've been listening to myself and said,
yes,
gosh, they're good.
They are good.
Yeah, I'd say myself, I was brilliant in those days.
You were.
Yes, it was an honour to give them to the station. So there you go. So yes, it's an era which I relate to very well. Forget about now. I might as well not be now. Now. But back in those days, things were, shall we say, on the go.
They were.
You were experimenting with life.
Yes.
In those days.
Yes. So, I thought you could do a play about presenters in a daytime radio studio, and the reason they're in the daytime studio is because they used to go out at night and have dance tracks and so forth, but this was some time ago.
Well, I can do a breakfast show.
A breakfast show?
And 90% of it will be yawning.
Okay, well that's true, but it's not the job of the presenter, surely, is to wake people up.
Yes.
How they wake up at the start of 6 o'clock or something.
Well,
it's a mystery.
Right. My hospital radio days were very late evening ones, it was.
Oh, yes.
So I've done all sorts.
Yes.
And now I'm sitting here on this show.
Yes.
Which is during the day.
Yes.
And I have to wake up very quickly to operate or be with you guys.
Well, 10 o'clock in the morning, you ought to be wide awake by then.
No.
No? Okay.
So if you hear snoring in the corner, that's me.
Right, okay. Well, I introduced a plot I think these plays should have a plot.
Yep.
And the plot, I based it on the Wild Show as it normally is, and I based it on the idea of management arriving, and deciding that Chris was okay, because he's more or less in this century.
Right.
He knows about this century.
Yes.
I thought management would like that, because those are the sorts of listeners they want to reach, the ones who are sort of active at this, well, in this time scale. But you and I you play 80s music and I tend to play sort of Motown or earlier 60s and 70s maybe. So we both get sacked.
There's too much sacking around here.
Well, there is.
I haven't got enough sacks.
No, but it's the reality of what happens, JD.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, what would we do? We'd give up on Exeter. We'd go to Exmouth. Well, you live in Exmouth anyway.
I live in Exmouth, yeah.
I'm not being rude about Exmouth, but I know that there are radio stations there who would entertain the previous century.
Yes, there's at least one which is doing very well.
And they include...
And that's just up the road from me.
So if you went to them and said, do you mind playing some 80s tracks, they probably would be tolerant.
Well, I go and batter on the door until they do.
Well, that's fair enough, isn't it?
I shall sit outside the door singing the songs. That'll put the listener off.
But JJ, I was also struck by last week when you went to get the maps, or have a look at the maps, the parish maps in the library.
Yes.
You said you wanted a map of cafes.
Right.
You thought you wanted to know where the Exeter cafes were.
Right, yes. Well, I think I need a map of everything in Exmouth and Exeter. Then we can talk about it.
Well, yes.
Yes, it's knowing a place where I know there's websites and what have you like that, but nothing beats the good old-fashioned get off your and go and visit something.
Well, that's true.
So you see how it was last week. You see, it was a spur of the moment. I was tempted by the coffee, mind you, but
I knew that there was coffee in the library. There is coffee.
Yes, well, I used to, as I said, when we first came to Exeter, I used to be in the library quite a lot, looking up things and what have you.
Right.
And so I knew the coffee was there, and I knew the food was there as well.
Yes.
So I knew all that. And then you go through the back door into the wonderful gardens at the back. And that I have actually phoned you a long time ago, and we put it on the radio.
Yes.
So that's where I was.
Yes.
It's going somewhere at the spur of the moment, and expressing yourself in that moment.
Yes. Well, that is important.
Yeah.
But let me just to explain more about where my thought is going, my design process here.
Your design process, right? Go on then.
You like the idea of cafes, and it makes sense to me as well. So this play about two unemployed radio presenters who've been forced out.
Do they have to be unemployed?
Well, we've been sacked, JT.
That's all right.
I mean, at the moment, Chris is away, so we can carry on. But this is just a fiction about the sort of thing that can happen.
But if it does happen, it happens. You see, but we go off and do something a bit better.
Well, you'd think so.
And next step on the path.
Yes. But what I'm saying to you, in the sad eventuality, which is purely fiction, there's no truth to this at all. It's just a play.
Right.
Management arrives at Phonic FM.
Right.
With demographic charts and believing that the 1980s no longer appeals to anybody.
Yeah.
That they're interested in.
Yeah.
And therefore, presenters who know about the 1980s, or in my case, that know about the 60s and 70s, should go. Not required.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, then all music should go, because all music is connected down the line. So if you have a song of today and you listen to a song of the 70s, and you'll see it be almost the same bars. I don't mean beer bars.
No, but no.
Bars.
A lot of it would be the same.
So it's the same sort of music style.
Might be.
In a raw sort of expectation of it. So yeah, it depends on how you deceive it really, or pick it up.
Yes.
And push it on.
Yes. Well, what I thought was we would go to Exmouth because we think we might still find some people interested in the music.
Yes, there's a radio station. There's another one on the other side, which is started up. So there's lots of radio stations around this area are broadcasting, but they broadcast their own, what they think is the schedule.
Yes, but what I think is that we could locate, in terms of a drama, we place it. The location is in cafes.
Right.
So previously I'd been thinking of studios, but actually radio studios don't lend themselves to a stage. They're too cluttered and complicated.
Yes, it is. And then, I agree with that. Yes, it's too much.
So, the stage consists of a cafe,
right,
or perhaps a series of cafes,
right,
which get closer to wherever it is that might offer us a future. And that's about it really. That's the basis of the play. So it starts out rather downbeat, having left this previous situation, and maybe by the end of it we'll have discovered some sort of future.
But it takes its own course, I think. If you try and push a course on it won't go that way.
No.
So you need to. If you say, I'm going to start off with playing Mickey Mouse music, and then end with Winnie the Pooh music, and what happens in between them, we just don't know.
No.
So it's forming a road to music, because every show, even your show compared to Chris's show or my show, are all different. And they all have a different road.
This is true.
Yeah, the fact is, I've got behind me, I've got the police, and I've got security.
Well, that's all right then.
So it's doing all right. So it just depends on where you want your show to go, and how you want your show to go, and the music you want to play for it.
Well, yes. But I want there to be a dramatic format for it as well, you see.
Well, are you going to be dramatic?
Well, yes. Yes, I'm going to be part of it.
You're going to be part of it. So your voice will go up and down saying, things like, hello and welcome to the show.
Yes,
something
like
dramatic.
Yes, I shall be dramatic in that
right,
sort of
okay,
way.
Well that sounds interesting.
But also, in unprecedented, well not unprecedented ways, but different sorts of ways, because look, if we can find a cafe or series of cafes in Exmouth that indicate some sort of journey from arriving in Exmouth to discovering what the future is for 80s music and previously, the audience could go to those same cafes.
Yeah.
So the ones they see on the stage are actually based on real ones that they could visit. And therefore it becomes a walk or experience as well as a script.
Because there'll be people who weren't born then, but you're introducing the music to them.
That's true.
And the style and the lifestyle as well.
Yes.
So yes, you could do a dramatic thing where you start off with what your interpretation of the 80s, and then you go into the music, and then you can see what comes out the other end.
Right. Yes, as well as the experience in Exmouth.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't make any difference where you do it, because
right. Okay.
So it could be anywhere.
Yes. So we can adapt this idea for somewhere else.
Yes.
But I'm going to start out with Exmouth.
It's moving it on. If you want that road to be built, you have to move it on.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Well, I'm going to go back to.
Yes.
I'm going to stick. I'm not going to. You brought in yet more 80s CDs, but the one you had, you showed me last week, is 80s Drive Time.
Right.
So I'm going to stay.
Well,
with
then you were talking about roads. That's
We were.
perfect.
Yes.
Off we go.
Yes, and Exmouth's an easy place to get to from Exeter. Wouldn't you say? The roads are very straightforward.
Well, yeah, sort of. Mind the potholes.
Okay, this track is called "Living
Yeah.
in a Box."